I think there's a lot of that going on, whether forced by your employment, employer, or because you've lost income and you're pivoting and figuring it out.
I think that's interesting. It'll be very interesting. So I guess let's segue right into this one, the going digital segment. So how have you seen your clients adapt with, the current times that we're in right now? If you're consuming this, it is currently May 26th. Obviously, we're in the midst of a pandemic, hopefully at the climax. And I'm sure now online traffic or online, basically being online is almost a requirement at this point. But
Right.
how have you seen your clients or even yourself pivot with COVID? Is it just more of doing what you were already doing, or is there an area that you see that people are really doubling down on?
Yeah, so for myself, it's a lot of just what I was already doing. And fortunately, because I already work at home and I already have digital courses
Right.
and workshops and programs, and I'm fortunate in that it's kind of, I don't want to say business as usual, but largely what I have been doing. Now, that said, there are a lot of what I have seen, and particularly with one client comes to mind recently
Mhm.
who over like a 48-hour period and about 3 or 4 phone calls lost 40% of her immediate income because she did a lot of in-person teaching, and she's
Right.
also an adjunct professor. So like that university went online. She had to scramble to figure out, how do I teach? She teaches dance and like movement and some
Uh,
very like physical type things. So she's used to being in the studio, and she had to figure out, how do I teach a Princeton dance course through Zoom? Now, at the same
yeah.
time, some of these other clients that just had to, they moved away from New York and weren't going to be working with her, or shows that she was choreographing for, they got shut down. She was thinking, well, what can I do here? And she actually had a couple of workshops coming up that she traditionally, again, taught in a studio, like, they're like week-long pedagogy, which is, teaching how to teach. So she'd teach dance teachers how to teach for a week and make a good amount of money off of that. And bam, that was gone because she had to cancel any kind of in-person events. So pretty quickly we were looking at, okay, well, what can you do then to take these things online? And what I told her and a number of my clients and anybody who's asking this type of question is, when there's disruption, there's always opportunity. And when there's such a big disruption that affects so many people, like everybody's needs and priorities just shifted overnight. So the most important things were, number one, to recognize the situation that we're in, and in any kind of like communications and stuff, like just own that and go, yeah, wow, this is crazy, and things are, I want to see what I can help out, how I can help out. And then like really keep your ear to the ground and reach out to people and have conversations to figure out, okay, well, what is top of mind and most important to them right now, and how can I best offer value and serve in that way? And she came back with a lot of interesting things. And in her professional field, one area that she's involved in, called Certified Movement Analysts, in a Facebook group, a bunch of people were saying, we'd like to use this time to brush up on some fundamentals so that when things get back to quote unquote normal, whatever that's going to be, we're that much more prepped with just our knowledge and staying on top of our game. So she saw an opportunity, and within 2 weeks she had launched a Zoom course, just a piloted very quickly, like, okay, I'm doing 4 weekly calls over 4 weeks, and I'm going to be teaching, I'm mixing 2 different courses up. So one course she taught was these fundamentals, and she just threw that together, got a bunch, like 100 people on there to take the thing. Now it was a little bit lower price, so she was going for more volume, but then she maxed out her Zoom room, because that 100 people is what the meeting level is,
Nice.
right? And then she also, that pedagogy course, she took that online, and that was, I think, 4 weeks in a row, just weekly Zoom. So she just piloted something, and we just kept it very simple, but we knew exactly, we identified, okay, here's this target audience, here's the thing that's top of mind and the outcome that they're really looking for right now. And she was actually able to replace all of that income that she lost in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks by putting together very quickly a couple pilot online programs. So I think there's a lot of that going on, whether forced by your employment, employer, or because you've lost income and you're pivoting and figuring it out. People trying to transition to render their services. And sometimes that's even new things that you haven't been doing before, but that are now needs or just ways that you can serve your target market. And that's what you got to do to stay on top of what's going on right now.